So great exercise. This is the basis of our drills for movement. We call them Chuck Berry walks. Because how many people remember Chuck Berry? He just died a couple of years ago. Right? The guy that put the guitar in the front of the stage for rock and roll. Good songs. He used to do the duck walks and play. Remember? None of us were born yet, but we've seen videos. So I use the band to hold your body weight. And so now you have to have perfect foot function where I'm dropping my shin down and getting horizontal force. The better you get at it, the lighter the band, because the band is my support so I can find those positions. I drop band width, it becomes more unstable, and I've got to use more of my actual own body weight. By the way, we have an indoor football facility at our high school. The indoor track is next door to it. Now you guys know why I went there, right? So there's our whole team doing Chuck Berry walks. We do all the time, in between sets or whatever, off days. You can make it difficult by carrying a water bag. Put a water bag over your head. Get rid of the band altogether and start walking like that. Start pulling like that. But that is that horizontal force that we're looking to develop. Simple, easy stuff you can do in class. I always give them exercises to do in their most boring class. So you're sitting down, you're working on your heel, flick over the ball of your big toe. If it's history class, it's not allowed. Math class, they go up and they teach for 3 minutes, then you have the next 55 minutes to work on your problems. And the math teacher goes online. Do it in math class. Pretend like you're doing your homework and do your flicks. If you get a ball, now I can make sure that I squeeze it through and drive up and through. So now I'm adding some adductor to help bring it through to the ball of big toe. You can even do it in class and bring your heels together and just squeeze your heels when you come up. You can do one leg. You can do all kinds of different things if it's math class. Then you can go up against the wall and you can work on the flick. Just to get the feel for it when you push out. And you can feel that tendon snap. And now we're using our Achilles to do all the work for us. And you can see there's an actual pop that happens. It's a natural movement, if you can find it. It just kind of snaps. Here's a kid who couldn't find his flick. Oh, he just snaps it straight up. No flick. Then we add it to a jump. So we're doing the basis of all my jumping is an ankle rocker jump, where you're not down very far, so you have to deal with slack. A lot of people use a deeper jump to gather slack, so they jump. I want it short and quick. So watch her ankles snap up when she comes up. See her whole foot kind of get crazy and turn in. That is what you're looking for. And then she gets him down in time to land properly. Ankles absorb the force and she's ready to go again. She's a freak though. Here's another one. Now we're going to add a little arm to it. That's 32 inches. Not bad for a high school girl, right? That's someone who can use their ankles to jump. Short and quick, boom. Not bad, huh? It's all feet. Blackboard on a single leg squat. Got to drive through that ball of big toe. I've got to use my feet to turn in, so I'm actually driving through the ball of my big toe. Doesn't take much weight. maybe 25 pounds or 45 pounds. You start adding the joints of that foot in, you get really weak really fast. But you're only as strong as that foot is when it pushes on the ground. You can use a slant board and go up the board, up onto the ball of your big toe. When you come up, you can actually see someone's Achilles completely pop out when you get to the top. Achilles is this incredible thing. That's why robots can't run fast. They haven't figured out how to replicate an Achilles in a robot. That's why we always outrun them unless they're the dog robots. Like in Black Mirror, did you guys see that one on Black Mirror? Did you guys see the new Black Mirror that came out? Scary. Really good. Am I the only one that you like Black Mirror, right? We're the only Black Mirror fans? It's good stuff. You can walk up on your toes, keep your heels in, everything extended. Again, it's great for 5 steps, but you need to go a long way. You need endurance before you get strength. Otherwise, you compensate later on. Gekko squats. Try to keep your whole body up against the wall from your knee on up. Go down into a little mini squat and flick up, because now we're asking the vastus lateralis and the gastrocs to help with the Achilles to push us forward. That's what makes you go. That's what the research shows. Michael Jackson squats, kind of the same thing. Remember Billie Jean did that move? It's pretty good. You'll be amazed at how weak you are when you're just working that system. Walking with a flick. Oops. Then you can progress that. I'll show you the progression just from the walks. Again, if you're not going to do it sprinting, if you can't do it while walking, now you're going to add a little bit of a hamstring curl to it. And then here's how you figure it out. So this is a pole. He's just got a stick. There's 2 rubber bands connected to it to a strap. This is to see if it's working. This is Dave Montgomery. I can show his videos and not get in trouble. So with the instability in front, watch, he's going to have a bad step here. Watch how he compensates. He twisted his whole spine to get to his target. But the less that foot works, the more this gets harder. That is a great drill. We do that a lot. By the end of the season, you have people that are pushing pretty straight, and all of a sudden they're running really fast. Because if you aren't pushing straight, you're not going anywhere. And then Captain Morgan's. I'm going to rotate my hip off to the side. So now I have no choice but to come inside on that foot. You can do that with resistance. You can do it over speed, which is really hard. Just give someone a pull on a rubber band. But I can't. I'm strengthening a pattern that I need to run fast. If you put the stick out in front on that, they fall, which is funny to watch, but they learn. They don't want to fall. So here's some running drills. So now we're amping up the speed a little bit. Working on heels flicking forward. When that heel flicks forward, it puts you in a position where you've got space and you can bring that leg down, which is where we want to be to run fast. Now we're going to add a little bit of a bound to it instead of going for speed. We're just using all the energy from that Achilles to move us forward. What's really cool is when you get this up to speed, it takes a long time to slow down because there's been very little energy used to go, and all that momentum is effortless. Height, so now we're creating space. Again, we're not going super far. We're just working that ankle motion. The heel comes forward, springing up for distance, or height, I mean. Now we're adding some hamstring to it. So you spring and you're going to coil up with your inside hamstrings, your medial hamstrings. Same thing, different guy. Adding a little bit of lean. And so now we have to push that power forward, developing horizontal force. Here's an example of someone who does and who doesn't. Both guys trying to get in the NFL. This guy looks sloppy, but again, if we're using his shins as a vector of force, so I'm drawing an arrow out the top of his knee, I'm saying he's pushing it about 30 degrees. Yes? Rolls over. I'm going to measure that angle when his knee passes. Again, he's about 40 degrees that time. So he's got a decent horizontal push compared to his friend. His friend said, they're both wide receivers getting ready for the combine. His friend said, I work out a lot harder than he does. I do all the lifts. I do everything I'm supposed to, but I can't beat him in a 40-yard dash. Here's why. Where's he pushing? Straight up. It's over already. Welcome to 4-6 and not going to the NFL. Now look, he's got a perfect arm split. He gets great height, just like the textbook shows, because he's been well coached and he's a good kid and he does what his coaches tell him to do. Foot comes down, hits, completely squishes out his foot. Now he's pushing almost, I'm calling that 80 degrees. It's a fair assessment. He's pushing up while his friend is pushing forward. It doesn't matter how hard you've worked, what you've done to get there, physics always wins. Physics doesn't ask how hard you've worked. And look, his butt is behind him too. That's what a 4-6 looks like, even though you're perfect from a textbook standpoint. And by his third step, he's almost pushing. He's at 80 degrees, so he's lost. That's why that shin angle is so important. So we've all seen Samira do it. We've all seen that. So you can, again, use a band. That's my 1080. Let me give you this tip. If you are training and you're serious about it, take the false step when you're training. What do you get by taking this false step when you are going to work? Slack. You've eliminated all your slack. So when you train, it's not an issue anymore. So Deshante here drops. Now look at that back leg push. It's straight ahead, isn't it? It's going to be hard for him to get beat because all of his force is straight ahead. So sometimes that false step is actually really helpful from a standpoint that, can I line everything up? Now watch this right leg. Watch the musculature of this right calf when he extends that foot. See that gastroc completely pop out of his leg like a monster, like the alien? So if you are sled training or any kind of resistance training with your runs, it's okay if they take a false step for those two reasons. I can get a better shin angle and get a feel for it, and B, I've dealt with slack, so it's more applicable to or carry over to what I'm actually doing in real life. Here's Dave Montgomery. He's pulling 300 pounds there. That's everything the machine has. That's a lot of power.